I'm not finna go into what the dude called about. He wanted to know how the Messiah was the law. We know the Messiah was the law made flesh. That's easy money. That doesn't even, yeah, Luke 1 and 51. Luke 1 and 51. We already know how the Messiah was the law made flesh. But in the course of that conversation, the man revealed the thoughts and intents of his heart. I'm going to show y'all something. Because the man asked me a question. He said, what did, because he said, I asked him, did he believe the whole book was about the Messiah? He said, no. I said, matter of fact, make it verse 49, 48. He said, no. I said, well, you going against the word. So he was like, how does David sleeping with Bathsheba have to do with the Lord? Matter of fact, hold with this Luke 1. Go to Matthew 5. I'm going to see who know why. Not anybody who heard the answer. I don't want them to speak up. I don't want nobody who heard the answer yesterday afternoon to open their mouth. You know who you is if you heard the answer yesterday afternoon. Open their mouth. Matthew 5 and 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever look on a woman to lust after her have committed adultery with her already in his heart. Where did the Messiah get this from? Where did he get it from? Huh? Yeah, I already told y'all that before I even asked it to you. So everybody should have been quick on that draw, shouldn't they? Now, when he said that, and I told him where it came from, he was shocked, number one, at the rate of the return of the answer, because he wasn't expecting that. But then secondly, you know the next thing he said? So, if I look on a woman with lust, if I committed adultery with her, I say, yeah, you lustful, whoremongering bastard. And you know what I'm saying? And you know what came, I mean, that's what I told him, save the bastard part. And you know what I found out and made mention of that this man teaches. And I didn't even hear him say it, but I know he taught it. What y'all think this man teach if he think it's all right for to look on a woman with lust? What you think he teach? It's okay to masturbate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got to mention it to him because I already know you that you know. But 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 1. You know he teach to masturbate. The man just told you don't look on no woman with lust in your heart. He say, if a man sit back and say it's all right to look on a woman with lust, you know he got to teach it's all right to play with yourself. He say, furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren, and exhort you by the Lord Yahshua. 4 and 1. Y'all got to be eating. I got to be careful. I got to roll. I ain't got all night. Furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren, and exhort you by the Lord Yahshua, that as you have received of us how you ought to walk and please God, so should you abound more and more. For you know what commandments we gave you by the Lord Yahshua. For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that you should abstain from fornication, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, not in the lust of conspicuous, even as the Gentile would know not God. You sitting around there playing with yourself. I know you don't know God. You sitting around there looking on a woman. Wow. Ooh. Come on, man. Look at verse 7. For God hath not called us unto uncleanliness, but unto codeath. You're not going to sit here and tell me you clean. Mark chapter 7, verse 23. You're not even finna tell me you clean. Verse 20, actually. You're not finna tell me you clean and you around here playing with yourself. You're not finna tell me you clean and you looking on a woman and you lusting after her. Go on working on her and get on up there, Liz. She already got up there one. I turned around and looked up. She's sitting in the chair chilling. And he said, that which come out the man, that defile the man. From within, out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness. So lasciviousness is just another word for lust. An evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. That means he unclean then, for he even actually got hold to his penis. So when he looked on that woman, he said, you done already committed adultery with in your heart. So you already unclean. That way the Lord put that out there to make it tight. Because we seen what happened. It don't matter. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Well, that's different if you married to her and you desire her physically. She's your wife, but you still ain't got no business putting your hand on your penis. Why would you be beating your meat and you got a wife? That don't, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's it. But they already know all of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just bringing something that it ain't about what he talk about. It's about that y'all make sure y'all know how to possess y'all vessels in honor and be able to hold yourself. If you know you like a certain type of man, you ain't got no business looking at that. Because all it's going to do is going to soak that desire. You'll be stupid. You know what I'm talking about? If you know you like certain type, why would you sit back and look at half naked women online and you know that's going to stoke your desire? That's dumb. That's dumb. I'm trying to show you this so you know how to control yourself, possess yourself. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't about him because we already know he's stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Screw him. He's inconsequential. What I'm trying to get done part under y'all is you need to know how to possess your body and carry yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Don't let the lust of the flesh overcome you. Don't let no penis and vagina be the reason you go to hell. Luke chapter 1 verse 48. Yeah, I'm telling you now. Yeah, man. About 20 minutes worth of pleasure leads you all the way there. You sitting right there, ooh, boy, I want that nigga so bad. And the Lord like, you're going to want to go to hell. You must want to go to hell real bad. Because it's dominating your mind. The reason why he mentioned that concerning David is, look what David ended up doing. So it's better to rein that stuff in because the book says if you commit sin, you'll live in it. So basically, you're not going to sin one time and it's over. You're going to stack them up on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? So the way to keep it tight, don't even do it. Look here, man. I told y'all the other day, man. Niggas talking about this sundress season, man. You already know, hey, man, you weak for booty cheeks flapping in the sundress. Don't look at it. You know what I'm saying? You trying to hold on. How you going to hold on booty cheeks everywhere you sitting there looking at it? Because the only way you going to turn your head, only way you ain't going to look at it and look at it and something don't come across because you's a faggot. It take a lot of mental discipline to look at that and your flesh don't be moved. It take a lot of mental discipline to look at something like that and your flesh don't be moved. But after a while, you look at it too long, something gonna spoil. If you look at it too long, something gonna spoil. Because if something don't spoil, you like boys. I'm gonna tell you right now, if something don't spoil, you like boys. That's real. Yeah, y'all got to come. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way around that, man. You like boys. Luke 1 and 48. That's all. For he hath regarded the lower state of his handmaiden. For behold, from henceforth all generations shall call me blessed. For he that is mighty hath done to me great things, and Kodesh is his name. And his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation. Listen to what he said. He has showed strength with his arm. I'll come back to y'all another time with that. He has scattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts. He hath put down the mighty from their seats and exalted them of low degree. He hath filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he hath sent empty away. Now listen to what this man sat back and say now. Sit back and listen back about all he gonna say, man. I'll tell y'all something, man. Y'all good, man. I'm trying to do something, man. Y'all can't be texting me like that because it takes my focus off. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all be wanting to impart certain stuff, but it takes my focus off. Y'all got to know how to time that. So when he talking about scattering the pride and the imagination of their heart, see, this is what happened yesterday. Because see, that nigga fled. That nigga fled yesterday afternoon. I want you to come to Hebrews 4 and 12. He fled. Oh, come on, Lizzie. You over there farting? I heard you, Lizzie. You farted. It stank too. 4 and 12, Hebrews. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and joints of marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and opened unto the eyes of him whom we have to do. Who remember what we looked at? They say everything is naked and open unto the eyes of him that we have to do. Who remember who that took us back to? I don't want to see who remember. You should have known that took you back to Adam. Because they were in that garden, he said we naked. He said, who told you was naked? See, they were butt naked to him. They wasn't nothing that they could hide. Hold on, y'all. This done got stuck in the chair. Now she can't get out. Now, when that word came, it shows the imagination of their heart, because he went to talking about how you could lust and do this here. And the same thing happened with any one of y'all. That word come, it going to show what's in your heart now. It's going to show what's in your heart now. It's going to show it. It's going to show it. When we were talking to this man, he started trying to overtalk the word. Because he really didn't want to hear the word. Because the word was dashing him on every corner. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all have to sit back and look at something. That man said that thing cut short. Y'all already been taught this, those who've been riding with us a long time. Y'all already know what Hosea 6 and 6 say. I slain them with the words of my mouth and hewed them by the mouth of the prophets. Y'all know, remember, we looked at that when we seen Samuel hew to pieces Agag. Cut him up. Ripped into pieces. You know what I'm saying? But this nigga like this here, I'm going to tell y'all something. This nigga asked me a question. He said, are you a moray? I said, nigga, what? How long you been in the truth? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you ain't got to tell me. And I done told y'all before, when niggas ask you how long you been in the word and all that type of stuff, they sizing you. They sizing you. And they want to know what you know and all this type of stuff. But see, he showed what was in this man's heart. He said he scattered away the proud. See, y'all already know what Paul told you, man. You know, what Peter and James told you. God resists the proud. He resists the proud. I'm going to scatter you. I'm going to get rid of you. I ain't going to have no use for you. You know what I'm talking about? We done went over this before. Pride leads to destruction. So when you sit back and you proud and you hearing the word and you're not going to try to do it and you're going to do what you want to do and you're going to hold fast to what you want to do, you don't care what the word of God say, you don't care what the man of God say, God say, I'm going to scatter you. I'm going to scatter you. I'm going to get rid of you. Come on back to Luke chapter 1. I ain't spending too much time on this. There's a lot of stuff in that we don't go in great detail another time. I'm not spending too much time on that. I got something else for y'all to look at. But when he told you, who did he say that he had put down the mighty from their seats and exalted them of low degree? When we sit and look at that, we see the example of that. We see that with Saul. Saul was mighty with king, right? He took him down and exalted David. He was of low degree. So take that speakerphone off, right? He was of low degree. When we look at the Messiah, the scribes and the Pharisees were mighty amongst the people. He was considered to be a low degree. He told you, come unto me, I'm meek and lowly of heart. You know what I'm talking about? He brought them down and ended up exalting him, because we done looked at this in the last couple of weeks. The man was exalted and given a name above all names, that at his name of Yahshua, every tongue should confess and every knee should bow. The only way you're going to be able to be exalted in a low degree is if you humble and abase yourself to the word. You know what I'm saying? See, if you're not willing to humble and abase yourself to the word, there's no way you'll get that exalted. No, everybody wants that exalting to be able to dwell with God and God to be proud of him and give you that crown of life and receive the Spirit. But you want to base yourself to that low degree for him to do it. You know what I'm saying? I had two things happen to me within a week. Two men who wanted to hear my stance about a particular matter, but then don't want to actually hear me speak on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell y'all something that I told both of them men so y'all can understand and know this as well. The first man asked me to explain to him how the Lord is Lucifer. I did that. After completing that, this man sat back and said, oh, I gave you 58 minutes. I said, hold up, brother, what you think this is? You think this a mayoral debate? A presidential debate? I'm not going to go back and forth with you because there's nothing that... No, not right now, Stan. Not right now. There's nothing you can say to me to convince me to go that he's not. And if your desire is to try to persuade me that the Lord is not Lucifer, you might as well stop right now. You know the reason why I tell them this is because you're gonna end up blaspheming. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sit here and listen to you blaspheme. So actually, they think, when I tell them that, they take it that, oh, that nigga proud, he don't want to hear him out of eye. They don't really realize I'm actually sparing you. Because I know what you finna get ready to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you finna get ready to do. I know what you about to get ready to do. I told that man that yesterday. If your attempt is to show me how the Lord is not the law, you might as well stop right now. Because I'm not going to listen to it. I'm going to show you why. 2 John, epistle of 2 John, verse 9. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? He got mad. Well, show me how Yahshua fell 7 times. I say, sure. You haven't asked a difficult question in the least bit. You know what I'm saying? 2 John, 2nd epistle of John, verse 9. Whosoever transgress and abide not in the doctrine of the Messiah hath not God. He that abide in the doctrine of the Messiah, he hath both the Father and the Son. If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. That's why I stop him. You see what I'm talking about? Boom, I'm good. Because you bringing me something different than the doctrine I receive, I got to be a fool. Hold on, I'm going to show you that in another place. So it be in your mind. For he that bid him Godspeed is partaker of the evil deed. I ain't finna say God be with you. You ain't finna get no shalom. You ain't finna get no Yah bless. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing you talking about. Nothing you talking about. Galatians chapter 1 verse 10. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing you talking about. I ain't finna get no peace or no wicked. You take your wicked butt. Oh, I'm good. I'm telling you something. Them niggas get mad when I tell them that. Nah, bro. I'm good. I don't want to hear it. You supposed to hear him out. If you don't hear him out, it's shame and folly in you. That's what the bull say. I say, yeah, I hear you, nigga. That's if I had never heard it before. You know what I'm saying? If somebody came, I'll give you an example. If somebody came and said to me, yeah, and I didn't know it. The Lord is Lucifer. If I don't want to hear that, then it's shame and folly to me because I've never heard that before. But if I've already heard it and I believe it to be true, and I've been shown that it's true, I don't want to hear what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear what you got to say. I'm straight on that. I'm straight on that. You know what I'm saying? Verse 7. Absolutely. Verse 7, actually, Galatians 1 and 7. Matter of fact, make it 6. To marvel that you are soon removed. He said, I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of the Messiah to another gospel. See, that's what's going to happen. That would happen to niggas all the time. Me and Tragic were talking to that there. Niggas be soon removed from another gospel. You know it's already go back to the garden. Y'all already know this. You can even see that in Jeremiah 28 when I forget the prophet's name, came and said you won't have to rule up under the king of Babylon. In 2 years you're going to leave. You know what I'm talking about? That was another gospel. That's not what that man told you. He said, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of the Messiah, just like Satan did. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before, so say I now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that you have received, let him be accursed. For do I now persuade men of God? Do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of the Messiah. I'm not here to please none of you niggas. I'm not here to please none of you niggas. You know what I'm talking about? But you see what he said though? Don't let somebody come bring it up. That's why I shut the niggas down. How many times y'all done heard me talk with somebody who done been there and I'll be like, nah bro, I'm straight, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you bring in another gospel versus what I receive. I don't want y'all to get caught up in that trap how them Hebrews be telling you you supposed to listen to everything a nigga bring to you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to listen to everything everybody bring to you. That man said if you've been settled and rooted in the gospel, don't be moved by the rudiments of the world. I'm settled in the word. I ain't trying to hear what you talking about. That's not pride or arrogance or you in no cult. John chapter 7 verse 18. That would a nigga quick to scream. Oh, see you in the cult. You know what I'm saying? I tell a nigga like this here, you can do what you want to do. I'm not going to do it because the book tell me not to do it. The word tell me not to listen to your stupid behind. I got an example of what happened. Eve listened to the man and died. She be stuck. She get up there and don't know what to do. Let's go ahead and just fold those chairs on her. I didn't want y'all to know this. Because the nigga told me when I was telling them what that Matthew 5 was really talking about. Nigga told me I was teaching my own doctrine. He said, Yahshua answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. He that speak of himself seek his own glory. But he that seek his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. So all I want to know is, you heard it. Oh, you talking about Lizzie? Oh, she want to switch. She want to switch hats. Lizzie say she gonna take off her hat and put the Cubs hat on. Come on, Lizzie. There you go. So you sit back and y'all look at that now. And when I'm preaching, am I glorifying myself or is God being glorified? And if you was doing his will, if you were doing what the book said, then you would know if I was speaking to myself or I was speaking to God. Because that's what it just said. If any man do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. So if you were doing what the book said, you would know. So guess what that means if you don't know? You ain't doing what the book says. Come on back to Luke chapter 1. You ain't doing what the book says. Don't get mad at me. Be mad at God. I ain't read verse 8 in 1 Thessalonians 4. He that despiseth not man but God, because he given unto us his Ruach HaKodesh. That's why I tell y'all, man, look here, man. Don't be sitting around here arguing with these niggas. These niggas be going back and forth on the New Testament false. Jesus Christ ain't real, all that. For what? I'm not arguing with you. Burn in hell. That's your soul. That's your soul. I'm not finna argue with you about your soul. Because you hate God, I'm going to argue with you about it. I'm going to argue with you about you hate God. You know what I'm talking about? And try to get you to hate the love somebody you hate. Man, say they done seen and hated both me and my father because I came and did something ain't nobody else did. You know what I'm saying? He said, I came and did the work say nobody else did. They hate me and my father. They ain't got no cloak for their sin. Why you think they hate him? You think they hate him because, oh, it's a Roman construct. They hate him because they sinners and they disobedient and rebellious and unbelieving. And they ought to burn in hell. You know what I'm saying? We got to sit back and look at, we don't want to go that route. But he said he filled the hungry with good things. I'm going to sit back and show you how he filled the hungry with good things. Y'all know what it is. John chapter 6. And then we're going to come right on over here to Hosea chapter 2 and look at what we got to look at so we can get on up out of here. He said he fed the hungry good things. Nah, you good. We dropped that. Luke chapter 6. We're going to start rolling. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what that man say. Jeremiah told you I opened my mouth wide for thy word and you filled it. Ezekiel told him, he said, eat the roll. He said, when I ate it with like honey to my taste. Y'all know what the honey was. That's what the manna was. It was like coriander seed, like a wafer. Tasted like honey. That man said, I'm going to fill the hungry with good things. The Lord told you in Matthew chapter 5, blessed are those that hunger after righteousness, they shall be filled. Say, bless y'all hunger after the word. Because Job already told you in the 23rd chapter of Job about 11 verse. He said, I esteem thy word more than my necessary food. Man, y'all know the law say, man don't live by bread alone, but every word that proceed out the mouth of y'all doth man live. So you niggas ain't living off the word. Calm down, Tizzy, listen. Let me see that what I'm at. No, she just happy. She got my hat on. She snatched her head cover and all put my hat on. Now she gone. She just walked. Say that again. Somebody was just trying to say something. Oh, how you doing, son? You up? All right, well, praise the Lord. What's going on? He was on the phone yesterday, wasn't he? Verse 48 of John chapter 6. He said he's going to give the hungry he's going to give them some bread. I am that bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which come down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. We already know this here, because we looked at it on the Sabbath. He's saying the blood that I give is my flesh. You know that flesh go back to that lamb on Passover that you had to eat. Why you think the man coming around there telling them eat my flesh? These niggas talking about, oh, this man teaching cannibalism, you dumb idiot. If you would have known the law, you would have known. You know he'd have been referring to eating a lamb. You know what I'm talking about? So he telling them, I'm going to give you my body. Because on this night, you're going to eat this unleavened bread. You're going to eat my flesh. You're going to eat the lamb tonight. He said, them that are hungry going to be filled. You know what that feeling would be. You'll be filled with the word. See, just drop on down about verse 53 and look what the man tell you. Matter of fact, let's just read 52. The Jews therefore strove against themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? Then Yahshua said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, ye have, stop, lizard, ye have no life in you. Stop, lizard. I tell you again, and you're not going to like it. Whoso eat my flesh and drink my blood have eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He that eat my flesh and drink my blood dwell in me, and I in him. As the living Father hath sent me, and I live by the Father, so he that eat me, even he shall live by me. This is that bread which come down from heaven, not as your fathers did eat manna and are dead. For he that eateth their bread shall live forever. If you hungry for his word, because he said thy law is like honey to my taste. You know what I'm saying? So you got to sit back and look at it. He said, I caused the hungry to be filled with bread. How many of y'all trying to eat this man to be filled with it? See, a lot of people not trying to be filled with it. That's why they ain't hungry. That's why niggas will fall off. That's why it take a nigga 1,000 years to get their mind right. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't hungry for righteousness. You ain't hungry for bread. You ain't hungry for the sun, so you ain't filled. You always empty. Just like you sit back and you look at it, a lot of young boys, they people were poor and their self-esteem was low. They try to fill that void with material items, big cars and jewelry and how many women they sleep with, to fill that void of that lack of self-esteem and confidence that they had. A lot of women, when they daddy don't be around, to try to fill that void, they sleep with any nigga who tell them they pretty, trying to fill that void. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do the same thing with drugs. Whatever it is with that hole they trying to fill, they looking for something outside of God to fill it with. When the man told you if you were hungry for something, he said, I'll fill you up, but you got to come eat me though. Now the reason why we came to spin around here to look at this, when was the manna dropped? When we look at the law, where was we at when the manna came down from heaven? And when we ate that flesh in Passover, where was we at? Where were we located? Okay, I just wanted to understand. Hosea chapter 2 verse 8. I didn't want to make sure. I wasn't sure. I guess y'all finally get Ezekiel 20 tonight. You know why y'all get Ezekiel 20 tonight? Because I talked to these dude ass and it did came out. So I guess you get it tonight. I ain't got no choice. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Matter of fact, make it verse 12. Make verse 12. Make it verse. I don't need verse 8. I need verse 12. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make it back. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna use verse 8. I need verse 8. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax to cover her nakedness. Hold on. Thank the Lord. Because I was going over this with Trav Sunday, so I need to show y'all this. You know how he said, I'm going to take away my wool and my flax that will cover her nakedness, or cover her up. I need you to come over here to Genesis chapter 24. Now I'm going to show y'all something. Calm down. You got to calm down, Troy, because they can't hear over you. Let me see where we need to go at. Genesis chapter 24. Genesis chapter 24. Genesis 24 by verse 43. Behold, I stand by the well of water. It shall come to pass that when the virgin come forth to draw water, I say to her, give me, I pray thee, a little water of thy pitcher to drink. And she say to me, both drink thou, and I will also draw for thy camels. Let the same be the woman whom Yah have appointed out for my master's son. And before I had done speaking in my heart, behold, Rebekah came forth with a pitcher on her shoulder. She went down unto the well and drew water, and I said unto her, let me drink, I pray thee. She made haste and let down her pitcher from her shoulder and said, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. So I drank, and she made the camels drink also. Y'all know who this tie into, the similitude of this, right? I didn't need to make sure. We went over this not too long ago. You know the one? Any of y'all on here? Go to John chapter 4. Just make sure we're not going to go read it. And I asked her and said, whose daughter art thou? And she said, the daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bare unto him. I put the earring upon her face, and the bracelets upon her hands. And I bowed down my head and worshipped Yah, and blessed Yah, Elohim of my master Abraham, which had led me in the right way to take my master's brother's daughter unto his son. And now if you will kill kindly and truly with my master, tell me, and if not, tell me, that I may turn to the right hand or to the left. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, the thing proceed from Yah. We cannot speak unto thee bad or good. Hold on. You already just said, if the thing come unto Yah, I can't say nothing bad or good, right? Hold what you got. Come over here to Acts chapter 5. Show you something about that. He said, if it comes from God, we ain't going to fight against it. Pretty much, right? If they just sat back and said, the thing comes from Yah, we cannot speak thee bad or good. That means we can't say nothing against it. That's what he's telling them, right? Acts 5 about verse 37. I'm sorry, verse 34. Then there stood up one in the council of Pharisees named Gamaliel, a doctor of law, had in reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space. And he said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what you intend to do as touching these men. I just want y'all to keep this in mind. It's going to tie into something later. For before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain, and all, and as many obeyed him, were scattered and brought to naught, because he scattered the proud now. And after this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. You see the time back in Luke 1 where he said he scattered the proud now, and exalt them of low degree. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone, for if this counsel of this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of God, you cannot overthrow it. Lest happily you be found even to fight against God. See, Laban and Bethuel had enough sense, didn't they? They sat back and seen, if this counsel be of Yah, I can't say nothing against it. I ain't going to fight against it, because then I'll be fighting against God. See, that was some of y'all problem is. When the counsel of the word come, or the counsel of man of God come, you know what you do? You fight against it. And you ain't realize that happily you find yourself to be fighting against God. You know what I'm talking about? I watched that. Y'all didn't even see how that tied in together. Y'all wasn't ready for that. That's when he that despiseth not man, but God. Y'all be thinking I be saying stuff for no reason. I know a lot of times when I be talking about stuff, you feel like, oh, that nigga just talking. You don't even think it got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And that's how the Lord gets you so you can go to hell. Because while your mind drifting off thinking I ain't talking about nothing, I just drop something on you. That's how the Lord uses you to get your mind drift, because he know you don't really care about what's being talked about. And that's why you're going to hell. Come on back here to Genesis chapter 24. Y'all get from under here. Little Stanks and Little Liz. Little Stankus, Little Lizzie. I guess they're just not going to move from me. Where we stop at? Verse 52. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard their words, he worshipped God, bound himself to the earth. The servant brought forth jewels of silver, jewels of gold, and raiment, gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things. They did eat and drink. He and the men that were with them tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning and said, send me away unto my master. And her brother and mother said, let the damsel abide with us a few days. At the least 10, after that she shall go. And he said unto them, hinder me not, seeing y'all have prospered my way. Send me away that I may go to my master. And they said, we will call the damsel and inquire her mock. They called Rebekah and said unto her, wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. And they sent away Rebekah their sister and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, thou art our sister. Be thou mothers of thousands of millions, and let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them. She said, let thy seed. You know who her seed is, right? Her seed was Isaac. Isaac was the promised seed. You know Yahshua gonna rule from have dominion over the whole earth, right? We can come back, we deal with that another time now. This a prophecy. They said, let that woman be our sister, let your seed possess the gates of them that hate him. That means let's let him rule over everybody. You know, Revelation chapter 2, he that overcometh shall rule the nations with a rod of iron and break them into pieces like a potter's vessel, even as I received of my Father. And Rebekah arose and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels and followed the man, and the servant took Rebekah and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well, Laharoah, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at eventide, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, behold, the camels were coming. Who went out in the field at eventide to meditate? Any of y'all know who went out in a field at eventide to meditate? Did he though? When he went and did it. He said he lifted up his eyes and the camel was coming. He said, arise, those that betray the Son of Man is at hand. Verse 64, and Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. For she said unto the servant, what man is this that walk in the field to meet us? And the servant said, it is my master. Let's look what she did. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. Why would this woman take a veil and cover herself? She said, it's my master. Well, let's look in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and let's see what. She was covering her head. Because her head had done appeared. And you just seen that he took your cover back to expose your nakedness. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, about verse 3. He said, but I would have you know that the head of every man is the Messiah, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the Messiah is God. Hold on now. I want y'all to come to Exodus 34 before we finish the rest now. I done dealt with y'all before that. Ain't now one of y'all men got no business praying or trying to preach no book with nothing on your head. Exodus 34, verse 33. Make it 31. Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him. Moses talked with them. Afterwards all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them commandment. Gave them in the commandment all that Yah had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when Moses went in before Yah to speak with them, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spoke unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone, and Moses put the veil on upon his face again until he went in to speak with him. Now we know when the Messiah went up on the mountain the same way, he didn't have no veil. Now why do you think Moses kept taking that covering off his head when he went to speak before Yah? Because Yah was Moses' head, because he just told you the head of the Messiah is God. Well, we know that he was told, that Moses was told that you would be as God and Aaron would be your prophet. Who was his head? Yah himself was his head. Ain't nobody else tell Moses what to do. There was not a man on the earth told Moses what to do. God himself told Moses what to do. What man on earth told Hamashiach what to do? Nobody. Back to verse 3 of 1 Corinthians chapter 11. But I would have you know that the head of every man is the Messiah. Moses was the head of all the people. And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of the Messiah is God. Every man praying or prophesying having his head covered dishonor his head. That's why Moses took it off. So that lets you know, ain't no man got no business praying or prophesying with nothing on his head. Not on top of the fact you don't read nobody praying with nothing on their head. They always talking about David had on the linen ephod. He wasn't prophesying or praying, you idiot. When you read about the covering and the mitres that the priests had on their head, they weren't praying or prophesying when they were doing it. Niggas see something, he had something on his head and just assume. You know what happened when you assume. I don't know what happened. Y'all might have figured it out. You keep it to yourself. He say, but every woman that pray or prophesy with her head uncovered, dishonor her head, for that is even all as one if she were shaven. So you just seen when Rebekah seen her head, what did she do? She covered up. But you seen when he said about Israel, I take your bread, I take your wine, I take the spirit. He said, and I'm going to take this back because you prepared it for Baal. I'm going to take that covering for you. Now you shame because you've been dishonoring me. See, if you hadn't been dishonoring me, you would have had your covering now, wouldn't you? You'd have covered yourself up with me. But instead, I got to show your nakedness. Look what he said. All right, there, listen. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. Now, you said not shorn or shaven, or, in other words, cut off, right? You done cut off all your hair. You just seen that we were shamed when he cut us off because he said, I'm going to take the corn and the wine and the oil and the silver and the gold because you prepared it for Baal. He say, for a man indeed ought not to cover his head, hold on, for as much as he is the image and glory of God. So if you made in the image of the Son, and you seen Moses coming up before God, taking his veil off, Yahshua is a prophet like unto Moses. And when the same thing that happened with Moses, you seen that Yahshua didn't have nothing on his head. And we know he is the express image and person of God. And you supposed to be born of him, how your head covered. And if the woman is the glory of the man, and you just seen this woman say, that's my master, that's my Lord, let me cover my head. Why you ain't doing it? I tell you, you women can walk around uncovered. I know you ain't praying though. Don't be like these dumb hoes talking about they put a napkin on their head. Talking about I got a bunch of hair on my head. Is that my covering? Shut your stupid behind up somewhere. Only reason why women do that is because I'm telling you why a lot of women do that for one reason, because you want somebody to see your hair. You so concerned about somebody seeing your hair. Ain't thinking about it, man, make you go bald headed. Because you glorying in your hair. You rather glory in your hair than glory in God because you want somebody to see it so bad. Look at my hair. It's so long and full. Look at my hair. Then when you be around here with runway spots all in your head, you'll never take that thing off. Girl, let me see your hair. I pray. I'm probably praying woman. I'll take the thing off my head. I ain't gonna do that. I pray all the time, girl. Somebody this nigga walk up and say, that nigga don't pray, man. That nigga got I'm talking about a hole in the head, nigga. You think it was a sinkhole. Come on, hey, come on, Hosea chapter 2 back though. Don't y'all, now y'all can see why men should be uncovered and women should be covered in the law. We see that in the law, or did we see that, or Paul just made that up? So every nigga speak against it just is, what's the word we looking for? I got it, an idiot. Just an idiot. Now let's look at about verse 9 one more time. Therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. And now I will discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of my hand. You know they discovered the Lord's lewdness in front of all the people, didn't they? Let's look and see in 1 Peter 3 and 18. In the sight of all your lovers. Hey, Tinsel, listen. I don't know what done got in the listen. 3 and 18. For the Messiah also once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but being quickened by the Spirit. Now he showed his lewdness because he sat there. Y'all realize they stripped the man butt naked out of all his clothes, right? Matthew 27. Y'all do realize that show your lewdness in front of all you love. They stripped the man butt naked out of all his clothes. 27 and 29. Matthew 27, 29. Maybe back up a little bit. 27 is better. 27 and 27. Book of St. Matthew. Then the soldiers of the governor took Yahshua into the common hall and gathered him unto the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him and put on him a scarlet robe. Hold on, I'm going to show y'all about this. It's been in my mind. And when they had platted a crown of thorns, they put it on his head and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. So if they know he had that robe on, that means he was butt bookie naked in front of the people, right? Now, besides, y'all should already know, but I'm going to see who know this part, but that's not what we're looking for. Why they put the scarlet robe on? Why they put the scarlet robe on? Yeah, Joseph had a coat of many colors. That's why they put different color robes on him. But why specifically did they put this scarlet robe on this man? Yeah, he was that red heifer. He was that red heifer. Y'all also know that the priest had a garment of scarlet, right? But see, I'm actually looking at something. I'm looking for something else. I got it in one place. I want to see if somebody else know where it comes from. I read it to y'all the other day. You know, Mordecai had a purple robe on. Esau came out red too, even in Genesis, where it said, even in Genesis with Tamar, with the children that had the scarlet robe. Or the scarlet thread, I should say. Let's look at Isaiah 1:18. After that, Jeremiah chapter 4. We just read how he said the just suffer for the unjust, right? That's what we just read, right? I didn't want to make sure, no. I didn't want to make sure. Y'all calm down. We done went over this. Some of y'all would have been with us for a long time. Y'all already know we went through that the priest's garment had scarlet and purple in it. That's why they put them colors on it. Then Mordecai, they put the purple robe on him because of all that there. But hold on. Which ties into Joseph coat of many colors. But let's look at 1:18. Come now and let us reason together, saith Yah. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. You just heard the man say he'll take your wool from you, right? So if there be as wool, I mean you'll have a covering now, wouldn't it? Let's go back to what we looked at last week. He that covered for transgression, what they see? Love. And what he said, and if you will be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of Yah has spoken it. You just read about the sword, didn't it? Divided asunder to the joints of marrow. Yahshua's mouth been made like a two-edged sword. He coming back swinging. Yeah. Jeremiah 4 though. Jeremiah 4:30. Jeremiah 4:30. This word is a serious thing. Yeah. A lot of people don't be knowing what they be talking about. It's just a different way for y'all to see why they put that scarlet robe on him, right? Y'all know another name for the color. You know another word for the color scarlet? I'm asking y'all. Huh? Crimson. There you go. Yeah. 4:30. He said, and when thou art spoiled, what will thou do? Then we just read how the Messiah was spoiled, how they took all the stuff. What did he do? He couldn't do nothing. Though thou deck thyself with crimson, though thou deck thyself with ornaments of gold, though thou rent thy face with painting in vain, thou shalt make thyself fair. Thy lover shall despise thee, and they will seek thy life. For I heard a voice as of a woman in travail, and the anguish as of her that bring forth her first child. The voice of the daughter of Zion that bewail herself, that spread her hands, saying, woe is me now, for my soul is weary because of murderers. It says spread his hands. So now you see them covered with crimson, right? They just put a scarlet robe on. He said, oh, you deck yourself with crimson. He said, you put your ornaments of gold. What they end up doing? Put a crown on his head, right? Put a reed in his hand. Decking him with ornaments. Come on to Matthew 27. Calm down, Shizzy Lizzie.
Lizzie, stop.
Lizzie is amped up. 27:46. Y'all know, though I spread forth my hands and bewail, ain't nobody gonna hit me. The man was on the tree with what? His hands spread forth. So I get say my soul weary because of murder. You know what he said in Matthew 26, I'm exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. His soul was weary because of murderers. The man said you killed the just one and the Kodesh one and desired a murderer in his place. It's only right that murderers would desire a murderer. You know another piece of a thing that had the color crimson in it, along with purple. Besides the priest's garment, y'all know another thing that had that color in it. You know another thing in the temple that had the color crimson and blue and purple in it, just like the priest's garment. The curtains, the veil, the covering. Matthew 27:46. And about the ninth hour, Yahshua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Is he not calling out like a woman in travail? Because it said he cried, and he played the tape when little Muffin was giving birth to little Iggy here, and boy, she was crying out. I was there live for one of them. I had to go outside. That's that travail. He was in travail. We already dealt with how he gave birth. Who remember how he gave birth? Now that's just the spirit when the men rose from the dead. That's how he gave. That's when he gave birth. Gave birth to his first child. Gave birth to his first child. Say my soul weird because of murders. Ain't that something? Hosea chapter 2. Y'all wonder why I say, though, you put on some crimson. Ain't nobody else in this, but you thought he was talking about you? You thought he was talking about Denzel? He put on his Alabama crimson tie shirt, put on the crimson shirt. You thought he was talking about them? You wasn't talking about them. So you see how her lewdness was discovered. Sin was discovered. Verse 11, I will cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me. I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. I will visit upon her the days of Balaam, when she burnt incense unto them. She decked herself with earrings and her jewels. She went after her lovers and forgot me, saith Yah. Listen to what he said. Therefore, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. As far as you brothers understand, what you think that's talking about? As far as you understand it currently, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably with her. Hold on now. Listen what I say now. Listen what he said. I will allure her and bring her in the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. Hold on. Let me read in that verse. I will give her vineyards from thence, the valley of Achor for a door of hope. She shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be at that day, saith Yah, that they shall call me Ishi, and shall call me no more Baalah. So those that don't know what Ishi means, that means husband. So what did it mean? As far as all been taught, when he said, let's look at Ezekiel chapter 20, may I bring it home. Ezekiel 20:33. Make it clear what I'm asking. Y'all all right? I want to make sure y'all understand fully what I'm asking. Ezekiel 20:33. As I live, this God swearing on his name now. As I live, saith Yah, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm. Y'all didn't even catch, we already read that. And with fury poured out, I will rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pled with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith Yah, and I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. For those of y'all that already heard it, hold your peace. So what y'all think they're talking about? As far as y'all know, what is this talking about? How is this man, has he played with you face to face in the wilderness, or is he going to do it in the future? Has he allured you and brought you into the wilderness and spoke comfortably to you already, or is he going to do it in the future? So if he did that, how did he do it then? If you already heard, hold your peace. If he already done it, how did he do it? When did he do it? Somebody got a lot of background noise, man. Sound like you got the speakerphone on. You got to take that off. It echoes. Well, let's look and see how he'll bring you into the allure you. Because you know what allure means, right? Who know what the word allure means? What it means? Entice or persuade. Means to persuade. Come on now, let's look at Jeremiah 31 and 1. We holding Hosea chapter 2 and Ezekiel chapter 20. Just put a place there. We get back to it. Jeremiah 31 and 1. At the same time, saith Yah, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. That right there kill all that stuff when them niggas be talking about them Gentiles they talking to in the New Testament. Don't y'all be stupid enough to fall for that. When that man sit back and tell these people, oh, see, when he said they were not a God, that was he cut off the northern kingdom. Nigga, he cut off all of us. Everybody got, it ain't about to kick out. He divorced it. You gotta remember, man, it was two kingdoms for a reason, because he had two wives. Stuff got to get fit in. There was a reason for the split. You gotta remember, this stuff was laid out before the world was even made. This stuff setting up the mystery to come later. So you will believe that this man is Yahshua HaMashiach by the signs by which he did, that you might believe he the Son of God. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all sit back and look at it. Don't get caught up in all that retarded stuff these niggas be talking about, man. You can't cut people off from a covenant he already made with all of them. He made a covenant with all of them before the kingdoms were split. I done told y'all that too many times. Don't be stupid. For thus saith Yah, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness. Even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. Listen to what he tell you. They found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I caused him to rest. Who is he talking about? What is he talking about? You think he's talking about you? He said he found grace or a free gift in the wilderness, right? Then hold on now. Because let me ask y'all a question. Have we not already went that when Yahshua came, it was just like when we were in the wilderness? Everything that went down in the wilderness he had to do. Why do you think we read about the manna, man? The manna was dropped in the wilderness. The man telling you, I'm the manna. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know they hit the rock and the water came out in the wilderness. You know Moses was sitting on the rock with his hands being held up till evening time, like in the wilderness. You know they put a brazen serpent on a pole, and everybody who was bit by death had to look on that serpent and live. They did that in the wilderness. They gathered up and spoke against Moses in the wilderness. The people gathered up against the Messiah and spoke against him. You already know that in Exodus 17 and 1, the name of wilderness is sin. They named it sin. Matthew 1:21 says, you shall name him Yahshua, and he'll do what? Save his people from their sins. He's going to save them from the wilderness. And who brought us out the wilderness in the rest? Joshua did. Come on, man. Y'all gotta sit. So now we done established. That means he came. When he came, then he was in the wilderness then. That means he actually played with us face to face like he did when we in Egypt. He done it. Oh, what you got? John 5 and 17. So you know why I'm saying what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Thank the Lord. Now, you notice I reference all these things because y'all already learned this, so it don't make no sense for us to go back and read it all. But I'm going to show you one thing about that fiery serpent that I had to crack a nigga head with. about Lucifer. I'm going to show y'all that though before we get out of here. John 5:17. But Yahshua answered them, my Father work here too, hitherto, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought the more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but also said also that God was his Father, making himself equal with God. Then answered Yahshua and said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he see the Father do. For what things soever he do, these also do the Son likewise. For the Father loved the Son, and show him all things that himself do. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. Now you sit back and look at it. That means all the works the Father did in the wilderness, guess what the Son got to do? That's what my daddy taught me to do. I got to do the same thing. I got to do the same thing. So he said they found grace in the wilderness. You know how they found grace in the wilderness. He gave them water to drink. He gave them manna to eat. Those that were brought back from the sword. Because he had them killed all them Egyptians. I can show you something in that with the Egyptians too. I told the brother about it. I guess I'll show it to you too. Should we do it, Lil? Lil Muffin said yes. Lil Muffin says yes, so it gets done. So we'll start with this one here. Number 21. All she gotta do is just shake her head. Y'all don't even know. Before any of y'all came around, see, I ain't even think it would get to the point where we at right now. I used to let Lil Muffin pick what we was gonna preach. I tell you pick what you want. I'm telling you, that Holy Spirit video came because I had just sent them 3 text messages that week on 3 different topics. I said, which one you want? She picked that one. That's why that was done, because that's what she chose. Don't nobody know about that. It's only one person on this phone that received them 3 text messages and know what I'm talking about, and that's Pam. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else, they not present to tell you that. Pam the only one can tell you. It was others who got them, but Pam and Lil Muffin the only ones here. 21:5, Numbers. And when the people spake against God and against Moses, wherefore have you brought us up out of Egypt to die? See how that tie into what I mentioned to y'all earlier in 1 Thessalonians 4:8. He that despiseth not man but God. He wasn't speaking against Moses, he was speaking against God. Where do you think Paul get this stuff from? Wherefore have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness, for there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loathed is like bread. And y'all sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned. We have spoken against Yah and against thee. Pray unto Yah that he will take away the serpent from us. And Moses prayed for the people. So now he made intercession. How is this man coming for God to say, God, stay to play? Moses, pray to God he stay to play, but these niggas say they don't need no intercessor. Why they ain't go pray to Yah himself and ask him to stop it? Why they ain't do that? Why they went to the intermediary and asked him to do it? All right, pay to know the law. Nobody can't put the wool over your eye. And Yah said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he look upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole. It came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. I'm gonna tie this into something else too while it's in my mind. Come on around here to Isaiah 14 about verse 9. I'll tie it in something else. I'm gonna try to roll. We had 1 hour and 2 minutes right now. We good on time because it ain't 9 o'clock yet. But I'm gonna try to roll. I really ain't worrying about the length of time or how long the sermon is. I'm really trying to get done at a respectable hour. I know niggas gotta get up and go to work tomorrow. 14 and 10 is actually what I want. Isaiah 14 and 10. Let's see what they say. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Why would somebody ask if Satan done became like a man? If it's about Satan. Now I say it took a fiery serpent and put it on a pole, right? Because the people sinned and the people were bit by serpents. They were bit by serpents, right? So he said, take a serpent and put him up there. Now we know who was described as a serpent. But Satan in Genesis chapter 3, he was accursed. So the people who were bit by the serpent, they were cursed. Now we know 1 John 3 and 8 say he that commits sin is of the devil. Well, we just already read the just died for the unjust, or he that knew no sin became sin for us. Because we just sat back and looked at, as your sins be as scarlet, as your sins be as scarlet, and this man got a scarlet robe on his body. Your sins are scarlet. Woo-hoo. He didn't say, can't no man die for my sins. Stupid nigga, he became sin, you done it. You're just a dummy. You know what I'm talking about? But they say, but I say thank the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? Because he revealed it to whom he sees fit. So now we sit back and we see something. He said, you done became like one of us. We know Paul said in Philippians 2 and 5, he humbled himself and became made a man. And humbled himself even to the death of the cross. But let's see what the writer of Hebrews in 2 and 14 say about it when it comes to this right here. Y'all can drop Numbers 21. We still holding Hosea 2 and Ezekiel 20. We will return. And we holding Jeremiah 31.
Yeah.
I might get to Doag another day. Doag can't get in today. 2 and 14. Forasmuch then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had power of death, that is the devil, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. For truly he took not on the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren. You became weak and became like one of us, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for sins of the people. For in that he himself hath suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that are tempted. This man just sat back. Y'all know what Romans 8 and 1 say. There's no condemnation of them that walk in the Messiah Yahshua, walk in Christ Jesus, and not in the flesh, right? Because he sent his son in the life. Romans 8 2. We just kill it right now. That ain't talking about no devil. They say you done became weak like one of us. He say, for the law of the spirit of life in the Messiah Yahshua have made me free from the law of sin and death. You just sat back and seen them people were dead. What law did they keep to get this salvation? I showed you grace in the wilderness. What law? What law did they keep to be saved in? They said they cried, please save us. We sinned, we did wrong. He said, anybody look up at this brazen serpent, he'll live in them. Everybody who's been bit by death, look on that, you'll live. He say, listen what he say, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. Because the law could not stop them people from being stopped from getting bit by that serpent, could it? All them who were bit by that serpent, the law was not going to be able to save them from that. So he took a fiery serpent, and you know Yahshua was taken in the furnace of affliction. He said, I came to be baptized with fire in the Ruach HaKodesh. Why do you think the serpent was on fire? Put him on the pole. Say, everybody look at that. If you've been bit, you'll live. We just seen he that commits sin is of the devil, right? It said he became man so that he could destroy him that had the power over death, that by death he might destroy death. So you seen a serpent, you had to look on a serpent to destroy the serpent that y'all were bit by. I had to become weak, I had to become like one of y'all. But you again seeing grace in the wilderness again. There was no law that they kept to get that plague off of them. But Paul is a false apostle who makes stuff up. I'm going to show y'all something else. Come on over to Mark 16. I'm going to show you something else happened in the wilderness. I'm just going to see if anybody would know where it come from. Where this statement would come from, which the Lord made. Since we dealing with things that happen in the wilderness. Mark 16 and 15. Mark 16 and 15. Kiss you on your nose. Kiss you on your nose. And he said unto them, Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believe and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believe not shall be damned. Where can we go in the law to back up this statement that the Lord just made? Because you know as niggas teach you shouldn't be baptized, right? And that it ain't in the law, right? Yeah, I already know that. I already told you that. You got to say that for them who ain't heard it. I already told you that. Well, where's the other place where you can see that at? Those that believe, are baptized and believe shall be saved, but those that don't, no. Because when you sit back and you look at it, the Egyptians' heart were hard, and they didn't believe none of that stuff y'all said. If they did, they would have let the people go, wouldn't they? But instead, they held them, and they ended up going through the Red Sea, and Israel ended up going through the Red Sea. But what happened to the Egyptians? They were killed. When you look at Noah, he told them people, what grace and what law did Noah keep? He told them build an ark. He did it because he believed. Come back over here to James chapter 2. I'll show you what I'm talking about again. James chapter 2. I'm going to show you now because it said the faith to do something. They said, look, I'm going to tie this into something else now. We're going to cover up a few things right now. I'm going to show you something else on something we done looked at. And you ain't going to see it coming from this way. Let me get to James chapter 2 verse 1. Let me get on around now. I got to crank it up a notch. James chapter 2 verse 20. He said, but what wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he offered Isaac up his son upon the altar? Hold on, let me back it up about verse 17. Even so faith, if it have not works, is dead being alone. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my work. See, Israel showed their faith by their work when they went through that Red Sea. They showed their faith by their work by putting the blood on the doorpost. Noah showed his faith by his work by building the ark when he was told to do it. Those that he told them, if you look upon the fiery serpent, you'll be healed. They showed their faith by looking. Now, we looked at Isaiah 45 not too long ago. He said, look unto me and be ye saved, right? That's what he told all the people, right? Come on back over here to Numbers 15:37 then. So why these niggas around here looking down? After we look at Numbers 15:37, Colossians 3:1. So what you looking down for? Because if you was going to look on that fiery serpent to be saved, that means you had to look up. Because he told you in John 3:14, he said, as Moses lifted up the fiery serpent in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up. And y'all spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the border of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you a fringe, that you may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of Yah, and do them, and that you seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you used to go a whoring, that you may remember and do all my commandments, and be kodesh under your God. So what you need, he just told you, look up, look unto me and be ye saved. He didn't tell you look down at no fringes and be saved. Colossians 3:1. Man, say you need to be setting your affections on the things that's above, not the things on the earth. Oh, carnal-minded nigga. Thinking you around here pleasing God with some cloth at the bottom of your shirt. You looking down, he told you to look unto me and be ye saved. You looking down to be saved. You looking, them friends ain't gonna save you. Man, he said, if you then be risen with the Messiah, seek those things which are above, where the Messiah sit on the right hand of God. Set your affection on the things above, and not on the things of the earth. For you are dead, and your life is hid with the Messiah in God. We just read in Romans 8, that man say the law was weak through the flesh. And you know full well, them fringes ain't stopping nan nigga from sinning. It's niggas right now don't. It's a nigga with some fringes on right now just went and committed adultery. Them niggas, we be wearing them wrong. Then that's the part that killed me. Them niggas wear them wrong. Niggas say you gotta wear them on the four corners of your garment. You dumb nigga. If you got, and they had a little string. If you got a shirt on and the shirt got both sides to it. If you got fringes going around the whole short, that's on the whole four quarters, you idiot. Nigga, Nigga walk around here looking like somebody who don't understand the testimony of Yahshua HaMashiach that the Father left them. That's what they look like. Because Isaiah 45 said, look unto me and be ye saved. That's what he said, ain't it? That man just said, look under the fiery serpent. He said, that man said, look on me whom you have pierced. That man said, look upon the fiery serpent and you'll be healed. He said, set your affections on above. That man said, when you see these signs, he said in Matthew 24, when you see these signs, he said, look under heaven, your redemption draweth nigh. Let me look at no fringes. That man said, the Ruach HaKodesh shall bring these words to your remembrance, which I spake unto you. Ain't no fringes gonna bring no word back to you, nigga. So when this man said, I showed you grace in the wilderness that you might be saved, I caused Israel to rest. Hebrews chapter 4. Y'all already know. He caused Israel to rest because Yahshua said, hey man, it's finished. Like my daddy said, rest good. And what it said, he said, it's finished. I'm going to rest. Yeah, they call me a lot of things. Just don't call me late for them. Hebrews 4 and 3. Make it by verse 6. Make it 4 then. For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and God did rest the seventh day from all their work. Just like the Son did. He rested on the Sabbath from all their work. I'm finna rest, man. He calls me to rest. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest. Seeing therefore it remains that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief. Again he limited a certain day, saying in David, today, after so long time, as it is said, today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. If Jesus or Joshua son of Nun had given them rest, then he would not have spoken of another day. Therefore, there remained therefore a rest unto the people of God, for he that is entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works as God did from his. Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. So we sit back and look at it. Y'all sure know that I was finna enter into rest and God was going to lift me up. So he did the works necessary so he could attain that rest, so he could give us everlasting life. If you seeking to have a rest in the Son and dwell in him, then get what you're going to have to do. Stop doing what you want to do. Or you going to follow after that same example of your forefathers who didn't believe, who were crying out after they got bit by that serpent. Come on back, Jeremiah 31. Get ready to wrap this up. Ooh, Lord, thank the Lord for the word. Like I told that stupid nigga yesterday afternoon, he got mad. You hear the word, you ought to rejoice if you believe it. You don't believe it, you ain't gonna rejoice. You gonna be like, man, that nigga think he know everything. I don't know who that nigga think he is. I ain't nobody. I'm just a poor nigga from Duval County with a Transformer shirt on. That's all I am. I'm all I am. I ain't nobody. For thus said, verse 2. Yeah, not to straight on that. I told my brother. Go ahead. I told my brother-in-law the other day, I said, I can't buy no Decepticon shirt, man. Ain't finna wear nothing, and the root of the name is deception. You know what I'm saying? We walk with Optimus Prime, we roll with the Autobots. I ain't walking around here with no deception. Or whatever, I don't think Optimus Prime is the low. Ain't that Optimus Prime? There's Optimus Prime, man. Okay, I had to remember, I don't know which one it is. It's been a long time. I ain't watched the movies like that. Well, no, that's because I can't wear the Decepticon, man. It's just Under Armour got cartoon characters, man. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain ones that I can't purchase. Ain't no Superman. You know what I'm saying? Superman. No, I'm telling you, because Superman is a god. If you actually watch Superman, you know what I'm saying, all the movies, you actually look at it and see Superman is a god. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, ain't no Green Lantern. I didn't remember too much about Green Lantern, but my sister had me watch the movie, and when I said something about a Green Lantern shirt, she was like, no, they made him a Messiah. You know what I'm saying? Who else it is they say? You definitely know ain't no Captain America. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, they got the one with Thor I wouldn't wear anyway, because it's actually like his body. You know what I'm saying? They got some where if you put them on, it'd be like his body. Like you could get one with Iron Man, a compression shirt with Iron Man, and it's like his suit. You know what I'm saying? And then you can buy the leggings or the tights, the compression pants, and it's like the bottom half of his suit. Like you could walk in the gym and actually look like Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real. Hey, they got it like that for Superman too. They got it like that for Superman too. You can get the bottom of it and you'll have his tights on. You really can. You know what I'm saying? I just went with the ones like put the logo on there. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. You can get the Hulk, and they got one where you'll have his chest and the top of his pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you'll have his whole torso. You could get a Spider-Man shirt and it's actually his actual suit. You know what I'm saying? Both kinds, the old school one and the new one. The Amazing Spiders, I'm telling you, they got all that on there, man. Like that's a little much for me right there. You can get Optimus Prime body, that's a little much for me right there. I ain't go there. I ain't go there. Yeah, man, you can literally come in the gym looking like Iron Man. You know, I done seen dudes come in the gym with the compression tights on themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know how some of them wear them and they had a sweatpants over them or shorts over them. There was an Asian dude literally came in the gym with the compression tights on, just them. I said, really, dude? Really? So they said all the nigga, I was just in the gym the other day, nigga had the compression shorts on, but they looked how the volleyball girl pants be looking. I said, really, you're a dude? And he had a tattoo of a cross on his thigh. I said, that nigga, that's gay. And he got tattoos on his thigh? What grown man get a tattoo on his thigh? And you got booty shorts on in the gym, you a man. If you bend over too far, all your business in the street. You know what I'm saying? Nigga be around here doing a movement, you get up, this nigga bending over, man, you done lost. Now I don't even want to work out no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to work out no more. I'm appalled. I'm disgusted. Y'all just don't know, man. When that Asian dude walked in there with them leggings on, I said, man, this nigga here wildin', man. This nigga here wildin', man. I'm talking about, come on, man. It's just some stuff you just don't do. Verse 3 is Jeremiah 31. Yeah, hopefully Lord will, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it don't happen all the time. This was a while ago, man, but dudes do it. I did squats the first time with them compression pants on, and they worked out, man. They do what they supposed to do. They stick closer to the muscles, help them recover faster. You can get a couple extra reps in. You might could throw an extra 10, 20 pounds you usually probably couldn't do if you didn't have them on. They serve their purpose. You know what I'm talking about? Dudes don't be wearing them compression pants and shirts just to be wearing them. Oh, let me show my physique off. They real comfortable, but when it come to what they made for, though, I don't tell you no lie, they real comfortable. When it come to what they made for, they do the job. They do the job. They do the job. I ain't tell you no lie, they do the job. Yeah, because they keep the muscles fresh, man. It's just basically something to keep it tight to the body. It do the job. I ain't never know, man. My brother used to wear them all the time. I got that first. I said, oh boy, I gotta get plenty of these here. I'll never work out in nothing else. I need some more compression pants. I'll never work out in nothing else, man. Man, I'm talking about, I was dead tired Tuesday doing legs, man. Them compression pants was able to, hey man, I was able to go ahead and put on 800 pounds on there and do it. I just ain't double rep because I was tired. I've been to hurt myself. You guys, one thing I'm going to tell y'all when y'all be working out, we got to listen to your body, man. It be sometimes, though, your mind, you know what I'm saying? Usually it be your body don't go. Your mind be ready. And your body telling you can't go. Your mind be quitting, but your body got something in you. My mind was like, yeah, we can keep on going. But my body said, we ain't on the same page today, but I don't care what you talking about. It ain't happening. And sometimes you got to listen. And sometimes you got to listen to your body. You feel certain tweaks and pains and all that type of stuff. You don't ignore that stuff. You got to listen to your body. You know what I'm saying? Body was sitting there telling you. A lot of people don't listen to their body. That's why they hurt themselves. That's why they hurt themselves. And I know a couple. I know the other day what that was. A couple weeks ago, Brittany was showing me her form on the deadlift. That's why I know a lot of y'all go to training. I had to watch off. I see some of y'all might watch some stuff, pick up some bad habits and some bad form and hurt yourself. Cause boy, that form she said she told me she got off that video with a deadlift. That nigga tore a whole back out. You know what I'm saying? That deadlift ain't nothing to play with. That's a very technical move, man. It can literally take years to master. And I ain't being funny or joking or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Dude came in me in the gym a couple weeks back. He was like, hey man, I want to show you something. Take the slack out of the ball. You know what I'm saying? And it made a major difference on what he was talking about. Man, that's a very technical move, man. There ain't no move to be taking lightly or messing around playing with. You gotta make sure that form right, man. You hurt yourself. And when you messing with that deadlift, boy, you messing with spinal erectors, that posterior chain, man, that thing can lock you out for weeks, months. Same thing with that squat. Got to make sure that form down, man. You been done did that thing wrong, man. You'll be done. I tell you. Jeremiah 31:3. Y'all have appeared of old unto me, saying, yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. John 3:15. He said, I'm trying to allure you in the wilderness. You got to remember now, when we came out of Egypt, he didn't allure or persuade us to come in the wilderness. He brought us straight in there. Y'all all right? John 3:15. I'll read 14. As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so the Son of Man must be lifted up, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Y'all need to sit back and realize he didn't tell us to kill that lamb to condemn us. He did it to save us out of the hand of our oppressor. He turned around and did the same thing with his Son. I didn't send my Son here to condemn y'all. I sent him here to save you. That's loving kindness. That's what I was trying to allure you with and draw you with and speak comfortably to you. The only way he could speak comfortably to you is he had to plead with you face to face. Let's see how he played with us face to face. Let's look at John 18:19. Let's see if he played with us face to face. John 18:19. The high priest then asked Yahshua of his disciples and of his doctrine. Yahshua answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whither the Jews always resort. In secret have I said nothing. That sounds like to me he played with you face to face then. Because didn't God come down on the mount and plead with the people and make a covenant with them and brought them in the bond of the covenant? Didn't he do that? I'm not sure if he did it or not. Where did he do it at then? He did that in Exodus 20 and Exodus 24, didn't he? So he played with the people face to face and brought them in the palm of the covenant. Didn't he purge out the rebels in the wilderness too? When he said nobody 20 and over getting in? Ooh, woo. Let's look at Matthew 10:37. Let's see if Yahshua purging out some rebels. Because he said those that are brought back from the sword found grace in the wilderness. I gave them rest. Those that were 20 and under, they didn't get hit by the sword. They got some rest. Okay. 10:37. (34) actually. Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man foe shall be they of his own household. That man sat right there. I got to get you rebels out of here. I'm separating. That's sanctification. I got to take away the sheep from the goats. I got to separate the wheat from the tares. Y'all hear me? I got to purge you rebels out. Say nothing unclean entering into this place. Come out from among them and be ye separate, and I shall receive you. Hosea chapter 2 yet again. We good in Jeremiah. Y'all see how he spake comfortably? All the words he came. You know, this man was sitting there preaching the word to these people. He was trying to get them to come. He said, repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Now I'm going to sit back and look at verse 15. Listen what he said. I will give thee vineyards from hence, and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. You will sing as the days of your youth, and the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. Do y'all know what the valley of Achor is? Any? No, they ain't swallowed the whole house in the valley of Achor. Let's look and see what the valley of Achor is. It's only mentioned in 4 places. We're going to read all 4 of them. You just read 1. It's actually mentioned in 4 more other places besides this. Joshua 7:24. Let's see what happened in the valley of Achor. He said, I'll give you a door of hope in the valley of Achor. Joshua 7:24. Let's see what happened there. I'll make it 22. So Joshua sent messengers and ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in the tent, and the silver under it. This is Achor, the man from the tribe of Judah that took a part of the accursed thing. Hid it in his tent. Y'all remember that? And they took them out of the midst of the tent and brought them unto Joshua and all the children of Israel, and they laid them out before Yah. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achor the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedges of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled us? Yah shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned him with fire, after they had stoned him with stones. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So Yah turned from the fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place was called the valley of Achor unto this day. So a man who was killed to get a plague off the people was buried in the valley of Achor. You know what I'm talking about? So now, he said, I'm going to give you the valley of Achor as a door of hope. So let's look at Joshua 15 then. I have no idea what it could mean. Joshua 15:1. Absolutely. I got to get rid of all this. I got to get the cursed thing out of here. So in that place, that's where the plague was removed, so they had hope that they could continue. Joshua 15:1. Then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah. Then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah, by their families, even to the border of Edom, the wilderness of Zin. Southward was the uttermost part of the south coast. And their south border was from the shore of the salt sea, from the bay that looked southward. And it went out to the south side, to Melikarabim, and passed along to Zin, and ascended up on the south side, and Kadesh Barnea, and passed along to Hezron, and went up to Adar, and fetched the compass to Kakar. From this it passed toward Asmon, and went out unto the river of Egypt, and the goings out of that coast were at the sea. This shall be your south coast. And the east border was the salt sea, even to the end of Jordan, and their border, and their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part of Jordan. And the border went to Beth Hoglah, and passed along the north by Beth Arabah, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. And the border went up from Debar, from the valley of Achor, and so northward looking toward Gilgal. That is before going up to Adamim, which is on the south side of the river, and the border passed toward the waters of Ennemesh, and the goings out thereof were at En-Rogel. Now I'm going to ask y'all a question. That's a lot of land, ain't it? But now let's sit back and look at something. He said that the border would go all the way up to the valley of Achor, so northward you would look towards Gilgal. Anybody know why it is important that it mentions Gilgal? No, that ain't got nothing to do with the Messiah being crucified. I know you know. You know. Y'all know what Gilgal means. You don't remember what Gilgal means? Y'all don't know what, anybody on here know what Gilgal means? Well, we're not going to read it. But when you go in Joshua chapter 5, when he told them to take out sharp knives and circumcise the people the second time, those who weren't circumcised in the wilderness, and when he circumcised them, they were circumcised in a place called Gilgal, and the name of that place means rolling. We'll go read that part in Joshua chapter 5 and about verse 7. Rolling. And their children whom he raised up in their stead, them Joshua circumcised. For they were uncircumcised, because they had not circumcised them by the way. And it came to pass, when they had done circumcising all the people, they abode in their places in the camp till they were whole. And Yah said unto Joshua, This day have I rolled away the reproach of Egypt from off you. Wherefore the name of this place is called Gilgal unto this day. When was the reproach of Egypt rolled off us? When was the reproach of Egypt rolled off us? Y'all don't remember they said, who gonna roll away the stone from this sepulchre? Because he said, don't you know when that man rose from the dead, now we could be circumcised with the circumcision made with our hands? So don't you realize if they put it? So don't you realize when they put him in the valley of Achor and he was killed there? Joshua, right? I mean Achan, right? The man from Judah. Ain't Jessamine a field or a valley that they took this man in and killed him in? That would be not too far from the sepulchre where he was put in, because he wasn't buried too far from where he was killed at. And he say that border, the valley of Achor, you can look northward and see Gilgal. So the man so he's sitting back telling you, the man who took away your sin, you can look up to him, northward, me, look up. Look unto me and be ye saved. I'm the one who rolled your reproach off you. Colossians 2. Because he said, I'll give you the valley of Achor for a door of hope. After we read Colossians chapter 2, about verse 11, we're going to look at John chapter 10. Colossians 2 and 11. Whom also ye are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, and putting off the body of the sins of the flesh by the circumcision of the Messiah. Buried with him in baptism, where also you are risen with him through the faith of the operation of God, who have raised him from the dead, and you being dead in your sins and the uncircumcision of your flesh, have he quickened together with him, having forgiven all your trespasses. Don't y'all realize that the people were able to be risen from that plague when Achan was buried under that great heap of stones by the operation of God? Y'all don't sit back and realize that, do you? Because he had to put that body off who had them brought that accursed thing in here, in order for them to get that plague put off of them. And now you see that the border of Israel, the border of Judah, is specifically that the valley of Achor and Gilgal is in Judah. The place where the man was killed to put off your sins, and the place where your sins were taken off of you. So if this is the place where God rolled away your reproach, that's Joseph. God has taken away my reproach of my sin. Yahshua, he came to save the people from their sins. He's saying you can look to Gilgal northward. That means you would have, and you know, something northward, that means you have to do what? Look up, in a sense, didn't it? So look unto me, and be ye saved. Niggas steady looking down at some fringes. That's sitting back looking at, don't look at his death, but look at his risen. Because remember what we read? Set your affections on the things above and not the things on the earth, where the Messiah is risen, sitting at the right hand of God. John 10. He says, so he told you that this man's death would be a door of hope unto you. Why do you think this man going to tell you, I'm going to give you the valley of Achor for a door of hope, and you look in the valley of Achor and they're talking about somebody who was killed there because he took part of our cursed thing, and you think they're talking about something? Why would he say that this would be a door of hope to you if it ain't got nothing to do with the sun? You really trying to climb up here, aren't you, little things? John 10 and 1. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that enter not by the door into the sheepfold, but come up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he that enter in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter open. You know who a porter is? That's somebody who guard a gate. And the sheep hear his voice, and he call his own sheep by name and lead them out. When he put forth his own sheep, he go before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. A stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. This parable spake Yahshua unto them, but they understood not the things which he spake unto them. Then said Yahshua unto them again, Truly, truly, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. Well, we just talked about on the Sabbath, they put the blood on the doorpost, right? And that blood on the doorpost is what? A door of hope. Because when they went through that door, they went into a pasture. They came into the land after that, didn't they? They got rest, did they not? He told you, when I bring you in the wilderness, I will give you the valley of Achor and the door of hope. That man had already gave you the valley of Achor and the door of hope, because the sun is your door of hope. The man done died. That man ain't coming back to bring you back in no wilderness to speak comfortably to you. He done already done that. He's already done that. Are you okay? I'm going to tell y'all something, and I'm going to tell y'all this real. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I'm going to be dead honest with y'all. The reason why a lot of Israelites teach that this man going to come back in the wilderness and do all this stuff, because they figure I can be wicked and I can sit around and I can play. But when the Lord come back and bring us in the wilderness, I can get it right then. If you ain't got it right now, you ain't never going to get it right. If you couldn't get it together before he came, what makes you think he's going to get it together after? That makes sense to you, Lamar? Leah, does that make sense to you? Leah says it doesn't make sense to her. Leah said it don't make no sense. Now, I read to y'all something, right? Come on back to Luke chapter 1. I'm finna get it ready to wind this on down. Did y'all notice in Ezekiel he said he'll rule you with a mighty arm, mighty hand stretched out arm, fury poured out? Didn't y'all catch in Luke chapter 1, verse 51, he said he showed strength with his arm? John 12 then. So who was that arm that came to rule you out and bring you to plead with you face to face? He said with fury poured out, I will rule over you. He put the fury of God was poured out on the Son that he might rule over us in him. Teacher, pull up. What I just asked for? Yeah, John 12. I appreciate it. I lost my train of thought. John 12, 37. Make it 36. While you have light, believe in the light, and you may be the sons of light. These things spake Yahshua and departed and did hide himself from them. Stop, Leah. But though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. Ain't that son? Just like the Father did so many miracles before Israel, and yet they didn't believe. That the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, who have believed our report, and to whom have the arm of the Lord been revealed. You know what I'm saying? So now when we sit back and we look at it and we understand that arm being poured out with fury to rule over us is the Son. He swore in his name, I'm going to send my Son. He going to rule over you. He going to rule over you. He going to plead with you face to face. He going to bring you in the bond of the covenant. He going to purge out these rebels. He that don't believe, say, if you don't believe that I am he, you shall die in your sins. You gonna die. You gonna die. Hold on. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Because didn't he say he would bring you in the covenant, bring you in the wilderness, and you would no longer call him Baalah, but you'll call him husband? He said that you would sing like the days of your youth when you came up out of Egypt. You'll sing praises to when we came up out of Egypt, we were freed from captivity. These niggas thinking you gonna sing, only the captivity they can look at is the fleshly aspect. Now, I'm going to tie this into being brought in the bond of the covenant 3 different ways. I'm going to make it real quick. So y'all don't have to rock with me now. First place I said is 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Verse 1. Would to God you would bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me, for I'm jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I've espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Hamashiach. So if you espouse That means a covenant had to be made, a promise of marriage, right? Because you got to have a covenant to marry somebody, ain't it? Genesis chapter 2, verse 22. Let's see where the promise was made at then. Genesis 2 and 21. Let's see where the promise was made at. I will bring you in the bond of a covenant. You seen T and left me home. I don't want to be my friend anymore. Nah. Yah caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which Yah had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now a bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh, and she shall be called woman, because he was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. That sounds like a bond right there, don't it? That sounds like a bond to me, right? John 19 and 34. I ain't going to read Ezekiel 16. He said, I seen you in your blood. I said, live. And then I entered into a covenant with thee. I was talking about the Messiah then, because the Messiah was laying there in his blood. So I washed him with the regeneration of the Ruach HaKodesh. Told him, live, get up, son. Now I enter into an everlasting covenant with you. And your seed after you. Hold on, what I just asked for? John 19:34. Make it 30. And when Yahshua therefore had finished the vinegar, he said, It is finished, and bowed his head and gave up the ghost. The Jews therefore, because it was the preparation that the body should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day, for that Sabbath was a high day, besought Pilate that the legs might be broken, and that they might be taken away. Then came the soldiers and brake the legs of the first and of the other which were crucified with him. But when they came to Yahshua and saw that he was dead already, they brake not his legs. But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came there out blood and water. Hebrew chapter 9. Hebrew chapter 9, verse 15. And for this cause he's the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, that they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be death of the testator. For a testament is of force after men are dead, otherwise it is of no strength at all while the testator lives. And we done already there. You know, the first testament was sealed and the people were joined to it by blood. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Now this is totally different from what you read in Revelation about him talking about the people would go in the wilderness for a time and a half a time. This is talking about protection to a certain group of people when a time of trouble comes. You know what I'm talking about? But just like this here, when the Lord gives information, you roll with it. You're not going to no wilderness people for this man to plead with you face to face. He's already done it. They want to do over. 15, 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Know ye not that your bodies are the members of the Messiah? Shall I then take the members of the Messiah and make them the members of a harlot? God forbid. Remember how we read I had to take your corn and your wine and your oil because of your whoredom? What? Know ye not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two saith he shall be one flesh. But he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit. We know Levi means joined. He said, now my husband will love me. But hold on. We need to read one more place about being brought in the bond of the covenant. John chapter 17. Let's hear from the Lord's mouth. I'm finna wrap this up now. After that, Hebrews 2 and 11, John 5:39. I got to actually find it. I think my page gone. Oh, no, it's not gone. I'm tripping. John 17 and 20. Make it 21. That they all may be one, as thou, Father, art. As a matter of fact, make it 9. Let's just make it 8 to 17. We did hear everything he said. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word, that they all may be one as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they all also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. And the glory which thou gave me I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. I in them, and thou in me, that they may be made perfect in one, that the world may know that thou hast sent me, and hast loved them as thou hast loved me. That sounds like somebody been brought in the bond of a covenant, and he included us in that too, didn't he? Ooh, after he played with him face to face in the wilderness. After he played with him face to face in the wilderness. Hebrews 2 and 11. So now we see how he gave us the valley of Achor for a door of hope, right? This man's death was our hope. Matter of fact, we'll look at 1 Corinthians 15 after that. Thank the Lord. Hebrews 2 and 11. I'll make it 9. But we see Yahshua, who was made a little lower than the angels, for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he by the grace of God should taste death for every man. For it became him, for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, and bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of our salvation perfect through sufferings. For both he that sanctifies and they who are sanctified all are all of one, for which cause he's not ashamed to call them brethren, meaning you bonded. That's the bond of the covenant right there. Yahshua came to bond us, to join us back to God, that we all might be perfect in one in the Father then, right? So you think he coming to do that in the wilderness with you? You wait for it, you stupid nigga. That's what you tell him, nigga, you wait for it. 1 Corinthians 15, you wait for it. I told y'all, thank the Lord. It was because we talked about it yesterday, because he asked about that Hosea chapter 2. I said, if I talk about Hosea chapter 2, I got to hit Ezekiel chapter 20. So that tied all in. So y'all got Ezekiel 20 after a while. I hope it was clear for you. Moreover, brethren, 1 Corinthians 15 and 1. Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preached unto you, which also you have received, and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if you keep in memory what I preached unto you, unless you believe in vain. I mean, if you don't receive the word, you ought to stand, you ought to keep it in memory, unless you believe for nothing. For I delivered unto you first of all, which I also received, how that Messiah died for our sins according to the scripture. Achor died to get that curse off the people. He gave you that death, what happened in the valley of Achor, as a door of hope. And that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the scripture. Just like the man got up from the dead. That door of hope, putting that blood on that doorpost, was us coming up out of Egypt, us coming back from the dead. One more play. Hebrews 11:1. Hebrews 11:1. He said a door of hope, right? So we need to look at something. Door of hope, right? To keep this in your mind. After that, Romans chapter 8:24. The Lord says it's over when it's over. It ain't over yet. Now faith is substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. So you know what that means? Just because you see God, just because you see the things that he made, don't mean God don't exist. Every time you step out the door, I know what, T and Britt them have a real desire to go out there and look at the sunset. You know what I'm talking about? Now, you see the things that were made, that sunset appear to you, don't it? All that stuff in the heaven. But who that made it, that don't appear to you, though. Do you see him? He appeared to you at his coming, though. You know what I'm saying? That's a door of hope. Even though you don't see him, you know that he's there, because he said, without faith it's impossible to please him. Because you must believe that God is, and he's a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. See, the son diligently sought him. That's why he was rewarded. See, these niggas think they're going to be rewarded for wearing locks, fringes, and don't eating pork, and say keeping the Sabbath day, and mean preaching. Because that's the crazy thing I heard in my life. Niggas say he an Instagram preacher. Niggas say, how you an Instagram preacher? How that work? Follow me, y'all. Follow me on Instagram. I got followers. Hold on. 1 Corinthians chapter 1. 1 Corinthians 1:21. What did I say after that? Before that? slipped my mind. Lord, will he bring it back? No, I don't want that. It was something else. Lord, will it come back to mind? After that, 2 Corinthians 2 and 10. I know I want that too. This man say, for after that, the wisdom, that in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. You're only going to be saved by preaching. You don't have to hear the word. Ain't no meme going to do it. Ain't no Facebook post going to do it. Word going to have to be preaching. It's going to have to be preaching. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, let me see by verse 10. Chapter 2 by verse 10. Let me see if I can get it. I have for something else. I can't remember what it was. It slipped my mind. Make it verse 9. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God, which raised the dead. Thank the Lord. Which delivered us from so great a death, and doth deliver, in whom we trust that he will yet deliver us. Now he delivered us from a great death being in Egypt, and he did deliver, and they trusted when they put that blood on that doorpost that he would do it, wouldn't it? You had to trust he would go do what he said. You also helping together by prayer for us, that for the gift bestowed upon us by the means of many persons, thanks may be given many on our behalf. For our rejoicing, I'm reading chapter 1. I meant chapter 2. But we'll keep on going. It still worked out well. For our rejoicing is this, the testimony of our conscience, that in simplicity and godly sincerity, not with fleshly wisdom, but by the grace of God, we have had our behavior in the world and more abundantly towards y'all. I thank the Lord he took us there and we're still tied in. But you heard what he said? Not fleshly wisdom. We keep it simple, right? We keep the stuff real simple so you can catch it. Is it simple for you? Then he said with godly sincerity, I mean we doing this straight and sincerely from the heart. Not with fleshly wisdom, make ourselves seem real smart, like nigga talking about I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? So you would see that our behavior in the world, our conduct would be conducive unto God. Come on, stop playing with your phone. Grown people now. Y'all supposed to be grown. 2 Corinthians 2 and 9. Matter of fact, just make it about verse 12. Y'all pay attention to what you're doing. Big grown rusty niggas. Furthermore, when I came to Troas to preach the Messiah's gospel, a door was opened unto me of the Lord. I had no rest in my spirit, because I found not Titus my brother. But taking leave of them, I went from them into Macedonia. Now thanks be to God, which always calls us to triumph in the Messiah, and make manifest the Savior of his knowledge by us in every place. You know what I'm saying? He said a door was opened to me. He said that door was open to me because he said I knew I had victory in the Messiah. We just already sat back and looked at that valley of Achor as that door of hope. They had victory. They had victory by the fiery serpent. They had victory when he came to plead with us face to face, to bring us in the bond of the covenant, to join us back to our God. You had victory. You had victory. You had victory. Because that's what they're trying to. That's what we sitting back looking at. This man say, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? He said, the Son of Man has gotten the victory. Right here in 1 Corinthians 15, say this man done got the victory. Overcame. He gave us the victory, that we could triumph over the flesh, triumph over the world, to be brought in the bond of the covenant. You ain't even sitting back looking at, when we were coming out of the wilderness, he destroyed many kings and people greater than us to give us the triumph over our enemies. He came back around and showed it to you again, that he gave you the triumph over your enemy, which is death. John 5:39. Pretty much. Search the scriptures. Search the scriptures. For in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. You will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of God in you. I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that comes from God alone? Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuse you, even Moses, in whom you trust. For had you believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? Praise ye Yah for Yahshua HaMashiach and the word. Y'all understood all this stuff this evening? I didn't mean to go this long.